Hi there, Heather Steves here, and today I'm going to share with you this fun little journal that I made using the new Journal Romance Special from Elizabeth Craft Designs. So I started by taking this fun little leaf stamp and I used some peeled paint Distress Oxide. I stamped that onto some vellum and then I poured some clear embossing powder over top of that, and I did that to create 2 of these leaves. So rather than using my heat gun on the vellum, I decided to pull out and try my mini pancake maker. So I'm really happy with how this worked. It melted the embossing powder beautifully, and I actually created a bit of a dappled effect because I guess I didn't have like a really full coating of embossing powder on there, but it really looks great. And then once those were both melted, I ran it through my die cutting machine with the matching die. Unfortunately, I broke this first one there, pulling it out of the die, but I'm going to tuck it under something, so it really doesn't matter. So now I'm going to stamp this flower, basically using the same technique, but I grabbed a piece of pattern vellum that I had in my stash. I just wiped it down with my anti-static pouch, and then this time I'm just using clear Versamark. And I have this little mix of gold and silver embossing powder, so I'm just going to use that. And then put that again into the pancake maker, melted it beautifully, and then I can run that through my die cutting machine as well. So once I finished cutting out that flower, I realized that my leaves were really curling there. So I just threw them back into the pancake maker to melt them up again, and it flattened them. And then I just set the block on top, and that really just helped to keep their shape a little bit better. So I wanted to add a nice little saying onto the cover of my journal. So I grabbed out this little stamp saying "Living the Good Life," and I stamped it with Versamark on a little strip of some brown cardstock, and then I put that into the pancake maker as well to melt the embossing powder. So I felt that I still needed a little bit more on my cover, so I grabbed out these cute little sprigs dies from the set, and I cut them out on that same vellum that I had used, but I found that the vellum was too light on its own, so I ended up deciding to emboss them. So I just, as you see, dipped them into the Versamark. I pushed them down with my little tool there, and then I just dipped them into the embossing powder. And then the pancake maker works really well for something like this because you don't have to hold on to it while it is melting. But you see me going back and forth because I would do one side, then I would do the other, and then I ended up with a couple of little marks because of the tweezers that I was using. So I just kind of kept going back and forth until I had those completely covered with a really nice even finish of embossing powder on them. So now that I have all of my embellishments ready to go, I can start to attach them to the cover of my journal. So I just grabbed out my Dries Clear. It works very well on this vellum. I didn't put a lot on the back, as you see, and then that just allows for my leaves. They did curl up a little bit, but they add a little bit of dimension onto that cover. So once I get everything attached down, then I found these little half pearls in my stash. They are from Buttons Galore. I picked them up probably years ago from a local craft store, and I think this is probably the first project I've ever used them on, but they match really great with everything on this journal. And then I grabbed out that sentiment that I had done earlier, and I just fussy cut that out so that I could place that on the cover. And once everything is attached down, the cover of the journal is finished, and you can see all of the details of how the actual structure of this journal came together on my blog. But I hope you enjoyed this little video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and have yourself a wonderful day.